Hello and welcome to a new Celluloid and Scotch. I am Dan, and as always, my co-host Carlito.
What's up?
If you don't know the premise of the show, we get drunk and talk about movies, sometimes to our detriment. I am drinking a Balvenie 14-year Caribbean cask. I like the double cask that I tried last time. That was a 12-year. This one has a fuck lot more kick.
I thought I would go century appropriate, and I'm trying this bourbon that I bought. It's a bottom shelf cheapie, but it's good, man. It's really good.
I missed Eagle Rare by 7 hours. They got 5 bottles in, and they were sold out in
all
2
gone.
hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they only sell it for 40, 45 there.
Oh, damn. That's pretty close to retail.
It is. They sell it for retail, not like $75 from online distributors.
Yeah, that's good.
For those who are whiskey or Scotch connoisseurs or bourbon, like Eagle Rare has become super hard to find. Depending on your region, like John's Comics seems to have no problem getting it at any time he wants.
Well, he's in California, so he doesn't count.
I want to give a quick shout out to John Big Daddy Ross and Jen Comics Will Break Your Heart for stopping in. Jen famously couldn't make it through the first couple of minutes of this movie.
What?
She kept falling asleep. She also had this problem with the lighthouse until she had edibles, and then the lighthouse was amazing to her.
But of course.
John was a big contributor to my random live show I did last week, just talking random comic talk. Not going to say I didn't get drunk by the end, but I was drunk by the end. Not abnormal.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
It was an interesting episode. Just talking about the whole acetate thing and all that bullshit.
Oh yeah.
It just always gets more entertaining. So I looked up some information on Prey about why this ended up on Hulu. And man, there is John. Awesome. Glad you were drunk too.
John got drunk? Shame.
Big Daddy Ross. While he was also saying how Giant Size X-Men put his kids through college.
Makes sense.
He said 4. I think he said 4 of them. Also go follow him on Instagram. He always is showing off rare and key books constantly from his collection, along with back-to-back issues. If you're a comic fan and just love to see comic porn, them Morbius Comics, Leroy Maybe, always just showing off all their raw, not graded books.
He does really great shorts too.
Yes, 100%. So Prey apparently was always planned to be streaming. They have been planning this since The Predator came out, which is the one I don't have for my collection because it was so fucking bad.
Yeah, I'll never buy that.
So the history of those movies is that Predators, weirdly, which I strangely love, because I thought it was kind of back to basics of like meathead action movie, plus some kind of interesting action heroes, especially Walter Goggin from Justified as one of the prisoners.
Yeah, he plays the creepy
prison guy who's like shanking the Predator.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right.
And he had the tattoo of his sister on him. So that movie only did 24 million in the theaters.
Yeah.
Opening weekend.
Oh. Okay.
The Predator did only 24 million. So they just decided to fuck it. This was always planned. They were going to go kind of lo-fi on it and just kind of limit the budget and everything else. And while I kind of think the reason why this is getting talked about so much is because The Predator was so fucking bad.
That could be. Yeah, that's part of it.
I do see some people saying this movie was mediocre, and I can kind of see that it starts out slow. Was it Walter Goggins in The Shield mostly? Like, I think
Eddie
that's where
Ross.
he's most.
I didn't really know who he was until Justified. So
Justified, he's magic in that series.
that's those two are magic. So,
But the first 2 seasons of Justified in particular are amazing.
oh yeah.
So I think this is like a perfect storm of low expectations and then having this Native American, I think it's 1718 was when the year of this was supposed to happen, and low tech, very hunter prey kind of thing. The redesign of the Predator was interesting too, with the more low key skull mask.
Yeah, not quite fully developed Predator.
Yeah, I think it helped. Some people were comparing Naru to Rey from the new Skywalker series and saying she was a Mary Sue, and I don't agree with that at all. Like, she's not naturally good at anything. Like, she kind of learns along the way and gets the shit kicked out of her by her fellow tribesmen, no less.
Yeah, it was very organic too. It wasn't like forced. So I really appreciated that.
I also they kind of sent home real early the importance of the flowers because they keep showing them and showing them. I was like, all right, this is gonna pay off. They telegraph some stuff real early, and that's fine. I do love the fact that this has a alternate track that was all in Comanche language. I just wasn't in the mood for subtitles at the time. I've kind of been in that mode lately where I'm just like, subtitles, I'm just not feeling it. I'll watch the horrible dub track. Which is the dub track, it wasn't bad. Actually, the Comanche was the dub track.
Right.
Basically. I found Amber Midthunder, who I really had never seen except for that weird Ice Road movie with Liam Neeson.
Oh, she was in that? I didn't see it.
Yeah. It's not good. It's one of Liam Neeson's dad action movies that he's now become famous for.
Yeah. Isn't he more like a grandpa now than a dad? But
probably. According to Janice Dickinson, though, he basically had a Coke bottle for a dick.
Yeah,
she was on Howard Stern.
Was that Howard Stern? Yeah, that was.
Yeah, and then the Kevin Smith podcast, they talked about it, like how big is Liam Neeson?
I thought it was like one of those bigger sized water bottles, is what she said.
I thought they said a Coke bottle. It might have been a water bottle, but still, like,
I'm just impressive there, Liam.
Yeah. So I found her character and the portrayal she does like a fierce, but with a vulnerability to her that I liked. And immediately I'm watching this going, man, I want to see her in a Marvel movie, but I want to see her as X-23. I know people loved in Old Man Logan Daphne Keane as it, but
hell yeah.
I would like her in that. Someone also said that she should be Danny Moonstar if they ever do a real good New Mutants movie.
So I could see her as X-23, but yeah, I mean, I could see that.
She's also going to be in the Avatar Last Airbender live show, playing Princess Yue.
Cool.
I saw that because I went down like an Amber Midthunder rabbit hole afterward because I was like, how do I not know who this actress is?
You know what I found out on Friday was the guy that played her brother used to work at Target before this.
Yeah, and I gotta say, he looks jarringly like Corey Feldman.
A little bit.
I just at one point I was like, oh my god, he's Native American Corey Feldman, and I just started immediately feeling bad because I was like, why am I putting this on him?
Yeah, Dan, why are you putting that on him? Jeez.
I thought the pacing of the movie in the beginning, although it was important, was just a tiny bit too slow until you get to the whole thing with the lion, which pretty awesome night scene, especially with the badass Brave getting his ass kicked by it while he's talking shit to her.
Well, right, and I like that. Again, organic, like script filming, whatever. They didn't force that. The first time she kills the lion.
No, but she
Something else
weakened it, and her brother later
Right.
goes, "Well, I never would have killed it had you not weakened it. You've always been smarter at certain
Right.
things than me," which I thought was a good addition to it, because also he defends her saying she's a great tracker when the other Braves
Yeah.
are like, "Get the fuck out of here, go
Yep.
back home."
Yeah. Never take sides other than the family ever again. Stupid Fredos out there. Anyway, I'm getting off
When
track.
she goes hunting, she says a prayer to Saint Christopher.
Yeah.
And then throws it.
I think this 1776 bourbon's getting me.
I looked at who the director was and co-writer, and after finding out he was the one who worked on 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I'm a huge John Goodman fan, especially when he does roles that aren't comedic. And 10 Cloverfield Lane was great, except for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I felt it was better when there wasn't actually an alien invasion. Like, it's just his paranoia, which makes it even nuttier. But
yeah, you feel so like closed off, and just the whole almost claustrophobic atmosphere and stuff.
John Goodman is one of those underrated actors, I think. And for anybody who hasn't seen Kevin Smith's Red State, which is the most un-Kevin Smith movie of any Kevin Smith movie.
I don't know if I have or not.
Oh, bro, it is good. It's basically a religious cult that is catfishing kids and like taking them in and brutalizing them for being sinners. They're basically the Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh.
Who Kevin Smith was feuding with at the time. See, I felt this was finally a Predator movie for the girls.
I felt that for me, it wasn't too slow, but it was on the cusp of being too slow. But then it hit that lion stuff, and it took off.
Yeah, but I mean, you had to have that character building stuff and kind of show a little bit. Sweet, we got the porn bots. Put user and block user. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
An error occurred. Wow. All right.
Oh, I might have already done it before you.
Okay.
Oh, but I can only hide. Oh, shoot. Never mind. So I'll unhide. You can take care of it, I think, then. I thought I was blocking them. I guess I...
An error occurred trying to refresh the page. Block user. Anyway, okay, they're blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, every now and again, the Russian bots come out, and I know our Batman stream with John's Comics, they came out in full force. Batman brings out the Russian bots.
Yeah.
So there was a huge amount to like about this movie. I mean, so there was an article about the dog. The dog was adopted before this movie came out from an Atlanta shelter. And I love that dog because it fucks up so many damn times. And especially when there's a trope in movies that I love that came back. And it was quicksand. I remember as a kid thinking quicksand was going to kill everyone I knew. And they brought quicksand back in this. And I love the fact that there was quicksand. And also, like, she couldn't get out of it immediately. She kind of sucks with the axe. With the tomahawk, which I like that they make fun of her saying, oh, you put a leash on your weapon. I totally agree, Gore, and always a pleasure to see you here.
Yeah, always nice to have Gore here.
So, yeah. And I love that the other Braves are always so dismissive of her. Even her own mother or grandmother, whoever that was, is like, you're not a Brave, you're not a hunter, like, leave that to the boys. Look, he brought home a Red Wing or whatever, and she starts ragging on him. Like, literally, I think Gilligan's Island is the first time I ever saw quicksand. That's how fucked up this is. And as a kid, like, I thought quicksand was going to kill everyone we knew.
Was that in Captain Hook. Was Quicksand and Captain Hook?
It might have. Bobby Delghetto, what's up, brother?
What's up, Bobby?
Love that we're getting all of our regulars in.
Oh yeah.
So
They must be really bored. To see me, I mean, you're obviously entertaining, but
oh no, like our banter. Luckily, our private chat with Bearded and all of them died down for a little bit.
yeah.
Motherfucker, the porn bots are back.
Yeah, back again. Spamming.
Okay. This is crazy. How do they keep?
While he deletes the porn bots, I'm drinking 1776 James E. Pepper bourbon. It's not Scotch, but hey.
I almost bought the Japanese whiskey. It wasn't the other one that we were talking about, but there was a different version. But then I saw it was $50, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But it was the same people who put out that Hibiki. Suntory.
I really want the Harmony, Hibiki Harmony. I can't find it anywhere though, so.
Yeah, and the only place to order is like $100.
I tried to order it off of Reserve Bar twice, and it got canceled twice.
Yeah,
so,
Liquor Brothers, which was that place I sent you, always comes through. Gore, I'm so glad you asked.
Ooh, yeah.
So they have started working on it.
Right.
Apparently, Florence Pugh and Austin Butler had already gone to Budapest to film their stuff. Florence Pugh famously dropped off of doing promotion for that movie that she's in with Harry Styles, and just flew off there to do it. Some people have said the production for her parts are already done. Irulan has a small part in the books, so I mean, it could have been done easily in 30 days, her parts. It's still slated for 2023, as far as I know. And knowing Denis Villeneuve, unless something horrible happens, it will come out on time.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite scenes in this whole movie is, and it's not great CGI, but the bear chase, because that fucking dog.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm just glad the dog didn't get eaten. That's what I was worried about.
Yes, the dog was a hero. Like, it lured the bear away, but then there's a scene where you hear the dog coming back, and you're like, all right, cool. Because she's like restringing her bow, and she's like, okay. And then the dog comes, she's like, ooh. And all of a sudden you hear the bear coming, she's like, fuck. Like, if you could have put that Flintstones music to it with like the running, it would have been the perfect like little sound drop.
Or like Roadrunner or something.
Yeah, and again, they show her fear. She's literally scared. She's getting her ass kicked. She's hiding from it, and the thing is like literally ripping through where she's hiding in, and then the predator shows up and decides to wrestle this motherfucker. Which there's a great scene. The bear thinks it wins.
Yeah.
And it's like walking off, and all of a sudden the predator gets up, and it's like turns around and goes after it again. And the predator gorilla presses it and also like slices its innards out.
Yeah, that was great.
It was an impressive scene just for sheer gore factor.
I gotta say the CG on that scene was fucking phenomenal in my opinion.
It was like, a little wonky at certain parts,
shaky, but like I think they really went after it for that scene in particular. So I gotta give them props for that.
Amber Midthunder has a facial expression of, oh God, I'm fucking dead. Like it was just like, you're weak. I'm gonna walk off. You're fine. And then she gets beat up by her fellow clanmates. Like one of them like whips her back so the other one can sucker punch her to take her back home. The predator comes out and just quickly annihilates all of them. Then we have the weirdest callback to a comic book and one of the weirdest Predator movies ever, Predator 2, where there's these fur trappers who earlier when she's walking into the area where the Predator is, there's all these skinned bison. Pretty gruesome scene. And they left all the meat, and she says a prayer to them for their spirits. Because it's a waste of meat, basically, because they just left all the meat and took all the skins.
Yeah, me too, Bobby.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you go in and you're like, I'm curious to see what it is, and then you watch it, you're like, yeah, it wasn't bad. And that's that kind of, I have no expectations going in, except for some people word of mouth who saw it at Comic-Con were like, hey, like it's pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I probably wouldn't have checked it out as fast as I did if it wasn't for a guy from work telling me about. He didn't say specifics, but he said there's a callback to an earlier thread in the Predator, like legacy, whatever you want to call it. And I was like,
when you start hearing it's when you start hearing randoms who don't really talk about movies with you much, all of a sudden talking about it, you're like, okay, this is weird. Okay, this is trending somehow that other people are hearing about it. So like, I automatically have to like start checking stuff out.
Right. Yeah, and I kind of had a feeling it had to do with that pistol.
Yes.
I still was like, yeah, I have to watch it. And after I got done watching it, I watched Predator 2 immediately right after. So, yeah.
I can't figure out if I hate that movie or I just don't understand it.
I think so. The beginning of it, it's a little cheesy with like 1997 in Los Angeles, and it was made in 1990, so they're trying to be like futuristic and stuff. But and the guns are kind of a little cheesy. However, yeah, that's smart.
Like if you're a lover of dogs and you go into watching John Carpenter's The Thing, the first like hour is rough.
Maybe that's why I've never sat down to watch it all.
You got the practical effects are amazing. When I first saw it as like 7-year-old kid, I was just like, what the fuck?
I've seen Cujo in Pet Cemetery, so that doesn't really track. But so I probably should sit down and watch the thing all.
Oh, Church the Cat is fucking Pet Cemetery. Crazy. But back to this. The fur trapper, she helps one of them, and they show an early thread of these flowers that are medicine doing a certain thing, and this one's playing dead, this fur trapper, and the Predator just for some reason fucking stomps on his chest.
That was great.
And the guy screams, and then he just gets like run through. And Naru's brother, Tob, is basically running. He finds a horse and starts running around the Predator and, throwing spears at it. And I was always like, why do these guys do the war chant? Because they just get found easier. It always bugged me in every one of those movies. Weirdly, I thought this movie was going to have a weird tie-in to the original Predator. Like this was going to be Billy's tribe, which is why he was so spooked.
I didn't think about that.
I
thought maybe it was going to relate to the girl, the prisoner that they had somehow.
Well, since it was Native American, I figured for sure since Billy was
right, yeah. I think the girl was Colombian, so
yeah. And I just like Billy is such an interesting character in the original Predator.
Do you know he's still alive? We never.
I hate except for him screaming.
Right. Well, so it was just like a war cry. That's all it was.
Just, him sitting on that log, taking the machete across his chest.
Yep.
One of my coworkers who's a huge action film fan, and like every now and again we'll like walk by each other. It's like, you ain't afraid of no man. Be like, that's no man. And like just Billy had some weird lines, and then I watched the documentary about the making of that movie and how they actually, some of the stars had to have security because that guy liked to get drunk and pick fights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sonny Landon, who actually became a governor.
Billy from The Predator?
Mm-hmm. He died, I think, 3 years ago. But you watch that documentary, and I guess the whole set was homoerotic with all of them working out and building up a sweat in front of each other. They go running, except for Carl Weathers. He'd sit there with a cigar just sitting around.
Right.
Because fuck it, he was in Rocky 1 through 4. He didn't need that shit.
I think Carl Weathers and I would get along very well.
I mean, he's great in Arrested Development.
He was on that?
Yeah, he was in that. The mother on that show was trying to hook up with him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But the fur trapper had the gun. Well, he was actually a pirate, Raphael Andolini. And he shows her how to use it. Still, she has problems with it. She can't get it quite to work. Eventually, she ends up figuring out how to fight the predator and uses one of the fur trappers as bait. And the scene is kind of close to the first Predator and what oh god, with the guy from the piano with the who was in Predators, he was the main Adrian Brody, kind of what he did with the fires and stuff to use the heat. Fuck. Bill Duke was.
Oh man.
Don't care who you were in the real world. Your location again. I'll bleed you out myself.
I just saw him in something I was watching.
And then freaking has a long talk, Sally. Can I have a good time? Can I have a
one
good
of
time?
the last movies he did. Anyway.
Jesse Ventura had some lines in that movie.
Hey, Jesse Ventura liked it. Pray.
Yeah. You have some of this, it'll make you a sexual tyrannosaurus.
Dude, that helicopter must have just been full of testosterone, man. I tell you.
I ain't got time to bleed. You got time to duck? Yeah, Bill Duke was also. I mean, honestly, that was an early version of the Expendables, but in their prime.
Kinda, yeah. So I don't know if you said that already, but I thought someone else might have said that too.
I might have. It kind of is like that. The only one who didn't fit was Shane Black, and they were just like, well, you kind of wrote the movie here. Be in this.
I'm sorry. I'm going to try to be nice, but I haven't enjoyed anything of his since Iron Man 2, so.
I didn't even like Iron Man 2 that much, but
That's what I mean,
he did give us Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Although Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, really good.
All this was before Iron Man 2.
Yeah, but Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I think probably one of his better ones since, and got Robert Downey Jr. the Iron Man role, basically.
Fucking The Predator was god-awful.
Yes.
I will never own that in my collection, even though I'm a completist. I'm also a principalist, and I will not buy that film.
Even on sale, I will not buy it. And I'm the same person who was I took Game of Thrones season 8 being on clearance for me to buy it on Blu-ray.
I won't even buy season 7 and 8. I have seasons 1 through 6, and I'm good with that.
But I'm excited for House of the Dragon tomorrow.
Yeah, you have to let me know how it is, because I probably won't get into it unless I have people I trust. That
I feel like it's going to be one of those start watching it at the end of the run and just binge it and be done. At least in my opinion. So the fight actually starts out in a fucking brutal way where she gets the pistol, gets behind the Predator because he can't see her because she took the medicine, and caps him in the back of the fucking head.
Fucking great.
Execution style. And the Predator's mask comes off, and you play a little bit of the cat and mouse game between them, and she uses the mask, and the Predator's done. There's the badass scene. She comes back to the village, and she's got the glowing blood that she put on her face, which is awesome.
That was awesome.
And she's holding the head like full on fucking Conan the Barbarian style. The only thing was missing if there were steps to roll it down.
Right.
Like James Earl Jones' head in that movie. And it was just such a badass scene, and she just like throws the head. Like, fuck you guys, believe me now, bitches. Right. I'm gonna go sleep for 4 days. Fuck you. The animatics at the end were fascinating, though. Did you watch the whole way through the credits?
I watched halfway through the credits, I think.
By the end of the credits, they show a Predator ship come back.
Ah, son of a...
So I imagine that's how they get the gun back, is they fucking annihilate that whole village.
I'm sure. I was thinking about that, and I was like, I hope they don't show that, because it's obvious that they get it back. So
yeah,
like,
so they did an animatic where they show the whole story of it coming and going.
Mm. The backstory on that pistol is actually pretty interesting too, because
there was a comic called yeah.
So the guy that has it here is not the original owner of it. There was
chief of it,
a pirate ship, and that's how he got that pistol. So I didn't know that until after I went and looked it up. So I don't. I kind of vaguely remember the comic, but I don't know if
I had to read the wiki and get reminded about it. I was like, oh yeah, that did come out, because I remember it was in one of the Predator omnibuses I had bought from Dark Horse years and years ago.
Yeah, so, I think I read it at a comic shop. I don't think I actually ever bought it.
While I really like this movie, I do acknowledge its flaws, but I'd say I'm like the 7.58 phase on it.
Yeah, I think 7.5 is a good number.
I mean, it definitely has.
I might give it a half higher. Well, no. Maybe 7.75, in between 7.5 and 8. But I really like the whole callback thing. And yeah, for me, I thought, like I said, it was close to getting slow, but it just started with the lion stuff, got real good. Yeah. I probably, depending on my mood, I could go between a 7.5 and an 8.5. But definitely, like, bare minimum 7.5 for sure. Yeah,
she carries the movie. She really does.
Yeah, and it's not like forced carry either. It's, like I said earlier, it's all organic, and it's nice how they just, the script evolves. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not shoved down your throat, so to speak. You know, it just kind of happens the way it should, instead of just doing it for, you know.
So she brought an energy to this movie that I hadn't really felt since Rosa Salazar and Alita Battle Angel.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, good point.
Where there was just this ferocity, but this real innate vulnerability that you sense. Like, there was not a sadness, but just kind of feeling out of place.
I will one up you on that and say I've felt that in The Old Guard with Charlize Theron. But other than that, yes, those are the last two that I can think of. So,
and if you haven't watched Alita Battle Angel, like, underrated movie, and if you can watch it in 4K,
yeah,
chef's kiss. It might be actually one of my favorite movies by Rodriguez.
Bobby, there was a lot of that in this movie, which I appreciated and loved, because I hate how usually, typically, in typical cinema, you'll see it's always the first time, you know, they fucking get it.
I do love the dog showing up after the fact, and she's like, oh, now you show up.
Unless it's like a bad horror film, then they never get it and they just get slaughtered. But in general, typical movies, like, yeah, it's, well, you get one shot and they nail it on one shot. It's like, no, that really probably doesn't happen very often, you know. Yeah,
And
that
I
was
can
that
kind of
whole quicksand thing was one of the coolest sequences I've seen uh in a movie like that for a long time. So
I thought it was going to become the Arnold scene from part 1 where she was going to end up against the.
yeah, I kind of thought that too a little bit in the back of my head, but I'm glad they didn't do that.
I would almost say she's a final girl in this movie if you want to go the horror route with
Kinda,
it.
yeah.
And if one of my favorite final girls, and if you ever get the chance to watch it, You're Next is one of the most fucking insane home invasion movies I've ever watched, and it has this Australian survivalist girl in it.
Is it on any streaming services?
It was for a while. This girl is so fucking badass. Like the people didn't know that her parents were like crazed, like end of the world doomsday survivalists.
I wonder if it's
So
on
she could-
Shudder.
I don't think it's on Shudder. It was on Netflix for a while. I know for sure it was on Tubi at one point.
I think I can get Tubi. It's free, right?
Yeah, it's free. That and,
I don't have that downloaded, but I could always download.
There
it.
was
Yeah,
a couple
I don't have. Unfortunately, all I have right now is Prime, and then I'm doing a trial on Hulu. So, all for watching Prey. Actually, I wanted to go see that in the theater, and I was really bummed when I found out it was only Hulu. But
I kind of thought it was going to be a dual.
I think they should have done that. I mean, I don't see how they could lose. I mean, movies these days, they don't have big film prints they have to send, nothing like that. It's all on a freaking flash drive. So, it wouldn't cost them, I wouldn't think. Maybe promotion-wise, they'd have to promote it a little more, but I don't know. I don't see how they didn't think this movie was going to be.
It was just always the plan because of the other movies bombing.
Yeah,
But then again, if you look at cinema, look what happened. Cinema World just went bankrupt.
Cinema World, I don't know what that is.
They're the second biggest movie exhibition theater company.
Really?
In the United States, yeah, Cineworld.
Who do they own? Do they own multiple theaters or something?
Yeah, they're all across the country, but they just went bankrupt.
Damn.
Yeah, which not good.
Luckily around here we have mostly regional Midwest theater owners that have been here for decades. So no time corporate that would be.
So now we have AMC and another one called CMX Cinemas that now I have a CMX near me, and then the AMC is way the fuck far away from me.
Which do you like better?
I just go to where I can see the movies. If I really wanted to go see a movie in full IMAX, probably Disney Springs would be the place to go. And Universal Studios has a giant fucking theater there.
Oh, you still got drive-ins? Man, there's a drive-in 45 minutes away from me, but it's always sold out. You can only get tickets 3 months in advance. It's I don't know if I'm gonna go then, but
the thing I always want to do is sometime go to the there's the Hollywood Cemetery where they do screenings at, and I know every now and again they'll do certain movies there, and there is every year, I think it's in Texas, they do the Jaws on the Beach, where they have a giant screening and they have people in the wave pool.
Oh, nice.
Where you can watch it from. That's something I want to do at some point, because Jaws, I forget who it was. Someone had said in a chat that Jaws sucked. And I started getting upset because
maybe they were thinking of Jaws 4.
No. They said Jaws was slow and boring.
I mean,
and you barely see the shark. And I was like, well, there's a fucking reason why you don't see the shark.
See, I was going to bring this up earlier, and now for sure I am, because you just mentioned this. But the thing I appreciate about Prey is I don't think we actually see the full-on predator until, I want to say it was close to
very late.
Through. Yeah, because it was always cloaked with the bend in the light technology, and stuff, and there's just no mystery anymore. Everybody wants to see. Like I saw someone complaining, which granted I haven't watched the show, so I can't say, but just off of people that have, I saw the back and forth, and they're complaining about how She-Hulk isn't She-Hulk like for a lot of the show. It's just a stupid attorney or something. I'm like, why do you have to see the superhero in the superhero stuff all the time? Like, why does it have to be 100%? Why can't there be actual character development, character mystique, like building up of the tension and the drama of the Predator and also Jaws? Like, you don't need, what the shark's going to look like. It's kind of disappointing, to be honest, to see the shark. And if you see it all the time, that just like desensitizes you to everything. I think I like the build up and the suspense, and maybe I'm just old. I am old fashioned. Let's just get that out there.
So, Bobby, I do love the fact that they went with like a different design for the mask, and also I like that it ties into the Native American myth of the Wendigo, where it kind of had like a skull face, but it would.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It was something someone brought up. I was like, oh yeah, the Wendigo is, like killer of humans and animals, and ate the meat of the dead. So I kind of like that idea and concept with it. So I'm gonna nerd out here. I recommend anybody who bought the Jaws. My New York accent just came out. Jaws 4K.
Love it. You need to drink more, so that needs to come out more.
So in the Jaws 4K, there is in the Blu-ray a special documentary called "The Shark's Still Working." Bruce the Shark was a fucking nightmare. That shark worked 20% of the shoot. They actually had to get an Australian shark photographer to film underwater shark scenes of actual real sharks, because that fucking shark never fucking worked. The only time that shark worked was at the end when it started eating Quint.
Awesome. Perfect timing.
Yes. But literally, like, Spielberg's ready to quit the movie at about 5 different parts. And you have Roy Scheider, who's afraid of water. He was afraid to be in the water. And Robert Shaw, that speech about being on the Indianapolis, I still think is one of the best monologues in film.
For sure.
Jaws isn't a perfect movie. It's not. But for fuck's sake, once you actually get out on the water, that movie becomes something special.
100%.
I'm not sure if that's when I really fell in love with Spielberg, but it's pretty up there. And he had a very interesting filmography prior to like E.T. and Indiana Jones. Because I think Duel was his first movie, which was The Killer Car. Great movie.
Better than Christine, or is that?
It's different. For Spielberg doing a movie about a guy in a car chasing people down.
Maximum Overdrive. Which one's better?
So I dare you to watch the teaser trailers for Maximum Overdrive with Stephen King high on cocaine talking about the movie he's producing.
That'd be great. I can't wait to see that.
Oh, it's out there. It's fucking fantastic. Stephen King later goes, you know what you shouldn't do? Make a movie high on cocaine the entire shoot.
Oh,
I wish I could have seen this movie as a kid. I mean, I saw it on TV.
I saw it on TV too.
And again, you kind of miss some of the scenes on TV because they're like not a whole lot edited out, but there's a little bit. And Jaws, compared to what's on TV now, is tame.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I saw. I'm not going to go on that tangent, but yeah, it's just it's different. It's for sure. Nice.
Did you happen to see John's comics back and forth with Two Brothers today?
No, I unfortunately.
Holy shit! They put Top Gun Mavericks above like oh, The Godfather?
That's a little
And
extreme.
John was like, what?
Yeah.
So John did a whole infographic of like what movies they thought was better. It got ugly.
I'll have to go check it out. Now, I mean, that's just, I think, so nobody's going to watch this or see this anyway. It's kind of controversial, but I think two brothers are doing some
Trolling.
Not trolling per se, but like
Hot
kind
take.
of like poking the bears, you know, doing that around the internets a little bit nowadays. It's kind of funny actually. But yeah, I'm not a big Tom Cruise guy either, but I will say Top Gun Maverick is a great movie. And
do you think it's better than Part 1?
Yes.
I thought the same.
I mean, so I like both of them almost equally, but Part 1 was more of the traditional like 80s kind of, you know, action fluff type sort of
homoerotic volleyball scene.
Yeah, which, you know, I had nothing against, whatever, but it's like this one is just
I just remember when I watched it, I was like, this is really gratuitous.
Yeah.
And like, I think I was like, what year did that come out? 89, 90?
I thought it was 86, I believe.
It could have been, but I would just remember going, man, there's a lot of oiled up dudes here, and this is weird. But Val Kilmer was such a dick in that movie.
Oh yeah, like so. Yeah.
See, I have a hot take for Tom Cruise's best movies.
Yeah, 86 that came out.
So Tom Cruise, like A Few Good Men, great movie. Excellent. But Jack Nicholson steals that fucking movie from him.
Yeah, he does.
I also liked Interview with the Vampire because it was so not Tom Cruise.
I'll have to watch that.
It's been a while, but like Tom Cruise's Lestat is such an interesting character study for him because it's so off-brand for him.
Yeah.
And
before Scientology.
What was that movie with Jamie Foxx?
Oh, Collateral. That's the one I would bring up. That is my favorite Tom Cruise movie because he's a villain.
Yeah, it's again off-brand for him.
But he plays it so like just straight, man.
Edge of Tomorrow, also a movie I really liked.
Mark Ruffalo was in Collateral. Jamie Foxx. What's his face? The name's slipping me right. He was in Skyfall, and he was in No Country for Old Men.
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem. He was in it. It was brief, but he played like the club, like crime boss guy for that part of the town or whatever. It was pretty cool.
So when we come back from a hiatus, when I get back from feeling a little bit better, I think it's time to do Denzel.
Ooh, yes. I've been itching to watch some movies
because
I haven't seen.
Honestly, I've been dying to watch. Oh God, now I'm forgetting the movie. Time is on my side.
Huh? Fallen.
Fallen, yes.
Very underrated for sure.
Okay, yeah. Tropic Thunder.
That's fair. That's good. That's good.
So the 4K, it's a movie I don't need, but I pre-ordered it because fuck, why not?
Yeah, Bobby, Training Day is great. I still don't think Denzel should have got the Oscar for that one, but because I don't think it was his best acting role, but I mean, obviously it's fantastic. So
I mean, Glory.
Oh,
he's
really underrated. Morgan Freeman too.
There was a great cast for that. But Training Day, I mean, honestly, he won just for I'm King Kong in this motherfucker.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Book of Eli, Dan?
Yes.
Oh, so good. I didn't know about it until was it 2 years ago? A buddy from work was like, "Oh, I have that movie. I'll let you borrow it." I'm like, "Okay." And it was on DVD, so I was like, "Oh no, I don't want to watch DVD." But I was like, "You know what? I'll do it." And it didn't matter because that movie was so effing good, so good.
So I thought that was a movie that was not marketed well.
No,
and we could do
till 2.5, 3 years ago. So
we could do a whole episode on mismarketed movies.
Oh shit, we could, yeah.
Because
John will have to join in on that. I know he has opinions about that.
because honestly, like we already talked about Alita Battle Angel. They fucked up the marketing on that movie so bad, and also with it coming on the heels of the horrible Ghost in the Shell. Do you like Adam Driver as an actor? I saw a movie with him and Scarlett Johansson in it.
Oh,
It's fuck.
What's it called? Marriage or something like that?
A Marriage Story or something like that.
Marriage Story, yeah. I've been wanting to watch that. I don't know why. I think it's just because I love Scarlett, but
he is great. Actually, the two of them, it's basically just the two of them acting against each other. And Marriage Story. It is so good.
I mean, I have no doubt of his acting chops. I just I don't know. He just doesn't really do much for me.
So he's not classically handsome, in my opinion. So seeing him in that kind of role, but it's such an intense back and forth between them. And Scarlett, she's hit and miss as an actress.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I felt it was her strongest performance.
They're back again. I thought you banned them or.
I always do. They just they always come back sometimes.
That's when you know you hit it big, Dan. Russian bots.
So yeah, I think Denzel would be a good subject because his catalog is gigantic.
Devil in a Blue Dress. I mean, there's just so much good shit he did.
I mean, even if you did Morgan Freeman, his catalog is fucking ridiculous. There are character actors I want to get into at some point. I also, Halloween, we got to plan out what our movies are because it's coming up fast.
Ooh.
I think during that month I want to do one a week.
Hell yeah. We were going to try to do that last year, I remember.
Yeah.
I'm down for sure.
Things didn't go as planned. I do kind of want to at least put one John Carpenter movie in there, and then Halloween Ends comes out in that time, so I don't know what that's going to be. I took the day off for the opening night.
For what? Which one?
For Halloween Ends.
Oh, you did?
I took the night off for that to watch it opening night, and I took off for Black Adam.
You know what? I might have to take it off for Halloween too. So
it might be a new trilogy episode of Halloween Ends, Kills, and 2018. Which, if you need to watch them, I have them all in my digital locker. You can watch them.
We don't talk about the shitty Rob Zombie Halloweens.
You'll never hear me talk about those fucking movies.
Thank God.
So, okay. In the vein of this whole fucking show, getting off top, Rob Zombie, I don't think is a bad filmmaker.
I don't either.
I think he is a talented filmmaker. I think he is a horrible writer. Robert, it's a pleasure to see you as always. Also, I don't do enough of this of hyping up my fellow YouTubers, and I feel bad because the G-Man is always messaging me his next show, and I'm either asleep or at work.
Same.
But please go subscribe. He's one of the few who do late night shows. He's always got great content, showing off collections.
Every now and then I'll get a fucking wild hair and I'll be up super late on Saturday and watch it and join the chat, but I haven't joined the show yet. Because usually, unfortunately, about halfway through the show, I'll kind of just pass out. And so,
but all respect to the G-Man. He's not about the spec. He talks about the comics they love. And he's got his other brothers on there with him talking about stuff. I've never been on the show because I'm always at work. But go ahead, follow him. He's always got great content. And again, much respect to Robert and everything he does. I really don't do enough for the community. I don't talk about enough. Tessa is a nerd right now, has her all-lady crew doing a comic book review for Mirka Andolfo. And she was starting at 9 o'clock also, but Tess has always been super supportive of us. So go give her support, sub her up. Her and Ryan have always been great towards us. I mean, Ryan's still a dick I never agree with, but
I'm about 50-50. There's a lot of stuff we vehemently disagree on, but then there's a lot of stuff that we really agree on. So. Yeah, I feel bad, Robert. I know
I'm off on Fridays and Saturdays now, so I actually have the time. I just need to know planned out stuff.
The last 2 times I've been talking with, I don't promise because I know it might not happen, but the last 2 times I've been like, I think maybe might be able to do the show. Both times it's like, nope, you ain't doing shit that night. You got something else you got to do. I'm like, damn it. So.
I very much he's always given me input that sometimes I didn't want to hear, sometimes hear, and sometimes I needed to hear it.
That's why I don't do videos, because I'm afraid of Robert's criticisms. I'm not going to bother making any. You kidding me?
Jen and I did something with good intentions, and it ended up kind of blowing up in our face, and Robert was a voice of reason of, hey, probably not the best idea. Like, you could have handled this differently. And at the time I didn't take it well, but in hindsight, like, he was 100% right. And that's the great thing about perspective.
Robert is quite the thinker and philosopher. We've had some discussions in the past. So
100% when we have Dune come back, Robert's going to be there with us again.
Oh yeah,
because I loved having everybody there for the Dune show.
That we did. Have substance. I'm just like the color guy. I ain't got no substance. I'm just.
But no, you were the newbie to it, so that was the great part, because you hadn't read the books really, so you were just there for the pure spectacle of the cinema.
And I still, dude, I'm holding out. I want the Steelbook. I'm holding out, and I can't find it anywhere. It's sold out. I saw one on eBay for like $250. I'm like, okay, that's a little extreme. But
okay, I need to talk about Steelbooks for a minute.
Uh-oh.
So I invited him on the show, but Ken Levitsky, Northern Broger on Instagram, this motherfucker is the biggest enabler of anybody I've ever met.
I started following him. I didn't even know who he was till you sent that message. I'm like,
constantly posting about Steelbooks and new shit coming out. And I always get into the, well, fuck. I guess I got to buy this now.
You're going to upgrade after your 20 copies you've bought of something.
So, like the newest Halloween 4Ks, I was like, I don't even like Halloween Resurrection, but it's a box set. I have to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read a book in a long time.
I know you were trying to read the books.
Book.
So, Dune is one of those things where everybody brings something different to that book. Everybody sees it differently. When Cinia was on my show, she saw the colonialism kind of white savior of it. And yeah, there's 100%.
Dude, I totally, I didn't even think about that really when I first saw it. So
she was kind of on the Dune over, she was our conscience.
Yeah.
Where Chen and I I don't even want to say what we were. We're bad people. Like, and then Cartoon Sid was just wanted to torment me most of the time. I made so if talk about torment, Sanimation, who is doing mob shows now.
Oh, really?
Yes, she did a mob show. I forget what it was. If you follow her Instagram, she did a YouTube video with another guy about a mob.
But I never get. It must come all at night because I never see any of her posts or anything.
I only see it on her stories.
Okay. Yeah, but, I gotta start following her YouTube if she's got one or whatever.
It was on somebody else's YouTube. I'll try and send you the link if I find it. Sanimation loves to torment me because I made one comment on a weekly show about how I had Spider-Man, the entire collection, on CD-ROMs that I bought years and years ago. And she started shit with me, and then Jen did it, and then Sid did it. And 2 years later now, it still fucking comes up. I love Santa more than anything else. But good God, her ball busting is ridiculous.
It's fucking great, man. That's why I started following her. Like, shit, I don't even know. She was on. Oh shit!
She was on Robert's show a bunch of times.
She was on Robert's, but I like someone had her on as like women of comics
Newbie.
or something like that. Might have been Newbie. Yeah,
it was Newbie.
It was like after that, I was just like, boom, I'm in. I'll in on this. I started following her and everything, but
100%, Robert. So that was my thing when Jen left my channel for the most part. I was proud of her starting her own thing and kind of.
You know that's going to happen to me too. Like in 10 years, I'm just going to lose. I'm going to leave. And
well, no, I always knew Jen had the urge to do her own thing, and I 100% when she went, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like I don't want to hold you back. I mean, she still does my stuff, but she's got her own thing going with Mars, and I'm supportive, and I love that she's over 1,000 subscribers. Will I ever get there? Probably not. I'm an asshole.
What are you at?
400 and something.
Really?
But like, you know, Jen wanted to do her own thing, and 100% I got that she wanted to do it. And I started getting the itch to do more movie stuff because I have two loves. It's comics and horror movies, and just movies in general. And at a certain point, like, I felt like we were getting to that point where we kind of needed to do our own things. Right. We did have a fight live on air that was not cool. But I think we're in a better place now.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like we've built kind of a nice community on this show itself with John, Bearded,
Dan, and John, and Robert, and
Bobby's always here.
Like just a bunch of different people.
Gore. Also, Chamorro, he hasn't been on in a while, but he's always doing great things. And follow Manny. He's doing more and more stuff. I respect Manny. I
love talking to him. I need to do it more.
Some of the people on his network of people don't like me and I guess are feuding with me, supposedly, from what I hear. But, you know, I have nothing against Manny. And Herm, Big Herm.
Oh, yeah, Big Herm.
Also, great guy. Also, I got to get Panda back on here.
Oh, Panda. I love Panda.
I think at some point we need to do the Turtles movie and get him and Burke.
Yes.
I don't know if Burke and I barely talk anymore. Not by, you know, anything weird.
Why are you sorry, Robert? You should be proud of that, man. Yeah, so I don't know if she was on Robert's show first or Newbies or I don't know. It was
I think she was on Robert's and then Newbie got her.
So then it was Robert's show that I started following her after. Maybe that's why.
Definitely, she had a lot more to say and was more open on Robert's show.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
I'm one of those people who watches after the fact, and also much love to Robert for immediately posting about posting about when we had Ronnie Barnes on last show. It was I think one of the greatest interviews we did with Ronnie Barnes because he got super open talking about the universe and everything else. We're having him back on in November after the next trade.
Sweet.
And Rodney has become weirdly a friend.
Nice.
Which I never expected. He, for some reason, likes Jen and I a lot. And maybe it's because we just let him talk about everything and anything. We're trying to get his artistic partner back Well,
Not if
not
he
back, but
doesn't
on with
sushi
us.
and just be proud.
It's weird because like we first had him on and he had taken an edible and he ripped on one of our guests for an hour and a half
Damn.
about
But,
his profession as a child services worker.
oh shit.
Ronnie, I can't wait for his Blackula book to come out with Jason Shawn Alexander, where he said Jason Shawn Alexander, it's his best art that he's done yet, and making a serious turn on a blaxploitation character, I think is interesting. $100%. And Rodney's one of the most open interviews ever. I think you'd have a great time with him, Robert, especially with how spiritual you are, because he's very open about his feelings and therapy and everything else. Like, if you ever need his contact info for his assistant, I can get it to you.
Yeah, Robert's a good man to talk to about that stuff.
Especially since Rodney's on after hours and the other person's in California. Good timing. So yes, the Turtles movie is cheesy, but at a certain point in your life, the Turtles were a big thing. I know people will dog on 89 Batman, but if you weren't there when it was coming out,
You have no idea.
yeah, like people were shaving the bat symbol in the back of their head.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was an insane time.
I think
Okay,
I had at least 20 different bat symbol shirts from 89 Batman.
I had the Joker, ha ha ha. Dude,
I have Halloween photos. I'm gonna have to dig them up. But so I went as Batman, of course, and my brother was Penguin because he was short, and then our friend neighbor, she was Catwoman. And dude, it's so classic to look back on it now. It's just fucking great. But
hey Robert, I'll DM you his info. But 100% a great person. If you want me on for that show, just because he knows me, let me know.
Big timer over here. I feel like I need to start my own.
No. Honestly, I'd love to have him talk about. He was on the original Blade.
What?
Yeah,
I know an actor that was in Blade.
He was an assistant on Blade. He's been on most of the Wayans brothers movies as either a writer or an assistant. He was a writer on Everybody Loves Chris. He was a writer on the Boondocks. He was a writer on the Winning Time HBO Max series about the Lakers.
So you know that I don't know if it's a doctor, technician, or whoever the hell that wheels the guy in on the gurney, and he's like taking him to the morgue or whatever. But then he wakes up later and like comes back to life or whatever. Well, anyway, the guy that is wheeling him into the morgue and stuff, like I know him. We're actual friends. We go to the cigar shop and stuff together and stuff, and he's pretty cool. But yeah, I always like to bring that up because he hates when people do that, but like I love it. So
Mark Hamill, when he was on Kevin Smith's Fat Man on Batman, talked about there was a guy from the original Thing movie, the Howard Hawks movie, that like got super mad because he called him out on it because he was embarrassed for doing that movie. Robert, you won't have to have me on to do that. Like he'll come on. Like he's pretty open about it. I'll get you the info for his assistant.
Oh
it's not a problem.
Morbius, shit, I haven't even seen that yet.
I haven't watched Morbius. I'm scared to watch it because even the trailers, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just I saw the last trailer and I was just like, nope. Nope.
Well, it's not even that. Like, I didn't even like Jared Leto in Blade Runner 2049. I thought he was kind of one of the weakest moments of it.
I agree, but I think that character fit him perfectly.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't think he was a big draw to that film for sure. Not.
I also at some point
Wait, you're old or you're old, Robert? You gotta be clarified.
At some point, I want to do Blade Runner, the final cut.
That's amazing.
Apparently, John's a huge fan.
Oh, really?
And one of my friends is a former Rob Liefeld artist at Extreme Studios who is a huge fan. He's now a toy designer for Spin Masters and does Batman toys.
Nice.
Just won 2 awards.
That's awesome.
But he's a huge Blade Runner fan.
What Batman toys? Like just general or?
The newest, like, for kids Spin Master toys, where he did a Batcave version of it, and there was one other toy.
Okay.
He posted about it. I mean, they're for basically little kids. But he went from comics to the toy market.
Oh, so he says it's okay. It's not bad.
Morbius movie is okay. His origins.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So it's not bad. Well, if Robert says it's not bad, I could probably watch it then. I mean,
I feel like it's going to be cheesy.
I've played Trinity more than 3 times, so I'm pretty sure I could watch Morbius.
Blade Trinity was pretty bad, especially Triple H from WWE was in it. He was not good.
Jesus, it was horrible. I mean, I do have a soft spot for Ryan Reynolds, even though that movie was bad. But
so something we talk about quite frequently is the death of physical media at stores.
Oh man, my Target and Best Buy and even Walmart now has been abysmal. I don't even go there anymore to check for stuff because if there is anything, it's usually DVDs. I don't understand how they can have a better selection of DVDs and then their Blu-ray and 4K is almost nothing.
So they got rid of the budget Blu-rays now. Those are all gone.
Yeah.
And now they have one little rack of TV and movies, and then the spinner up front that is the newest movies in 4K and Blu-ray. They've progressively gotten worse. I haven't been in Best Buy in a while, but I'm not loving it.
My Best Buy is horrible. It has one rack, and most of them are new releases. Then they'll have some like on sale Blu-rays, and then they'll have a section at the end which is like overstock kind of steel books that aren't even like organized or whatever. They probably just throw extras on there. So occasionally I'll go in and check that just to see, but it's pretty bad.
The nearest Best Buy for me is 45 minutes away, so it's not.
Yeah,
so
mine's
I literally have Target across the street from me.
My Target, my Walmart's like I can walk across the street. Target's like a couple blocks. Best Buy's like maybe 4 blocks. So I've got everything over here, but nobody has a selection. So
Walmart actually is probably the better selection at this point because they have the weird slip cases now for horror movies, which I'm not buying into it because the Halloween stuff, it's the same shit with different slip covers. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, they just changed the art.
I have a limit.
I think I will maybe go back to Walmart for Halloween time because hopefully they'll have spinners of that this year. I don't know. Maybe they won't, but
Robert, I know I'm shitty at promoting other people's stuff and seeing the comic book community awards going around. I know for sure I do a shitty job.
Dude was I'm pretty sure his show was in the top 5 for community.
I didn't see Robert's, but I saw PJ. His was in there. Newbie was in there for spec. Sure.
But I thought the Nerdy Collective or whatever was on there. Maybe
I might have missed it, but
it should be. If it's not, that's bullshit. I'll have to go on there and vote.
The consistent comic reviews, I was kind of a little annoyed that
Mars
didn't get in because
there's a couple people.
all they really do. I don't get to watch it, but I know they're very passionate about it.
I will say Taylor does a good job on his.
Yes, he got in there, and I saw that, and I know he's usually in our chats quite a bit.
Usually,
I'm surprised John didn't get in, to be honest.
Does he really do like new comic book reviews anymore, though? Or are you talking like community channel?
Just community stuff, because he tries to have a lot of people on.
Right. Dude, I got a funny story about the first CD I ever bought was at Walmart, and at the time, I didn't know that they only sold edited CDs.
Yes.
So it was it was actually my third CD I bought, because the first two I bought at Best Buy, but this third one, it was Warren G. Regulate, and it was the only place that still had any, I think. And I was like, yes, I got it. And then I got home like, why is there like blank spots in this song? What's going on? And then I think I actually went on the internet at the public library and looked it up, and I was like, what the hell? There's an edited version? What's going on here? So I returned it. I was like, this is bullshit. I didn't know it was edited. I got my money back, and then I got it at Best Buy, I think, a couple weeks later or something. But
so Gore, they have community awards. Does it mean anything? No. Does it get you a little bit of visibility? Yeah.
I think as far as the community goes, it's good. I think it's nice for people that, you know, do this and otherwise probably wouldn't get enough recognition and support. So,
but then like there's people like Naj Mansour who got pushed out of Instagram because she was posting about the whole Black Flag acetate CGC stuff.
Yeah, it's still dicey, but there are benefits and positives from it. So
yeah, the thing I'll say, like, I kind of like having no expectations upon me. I kind of just do my own thing. And the best review I ever got of the show is from Tessa as a Nerd saying, it's chaotic and makes no sense, but you're having fun. So,
oh yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
And
if I wasn't having fun, I sure as fuck wouldn't be here. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, same thing. Like even last week, I just randomly decided to come on and talk about comics and what was going on, and I had enough people in the chat to keep me involved.
Yeah, sorry I was unable to join last week.
No, it's fine. Like I had enough people there, and I can ramble on. Yeah, like I'm sorry.
I will say, and this is gonna probably fucking ruffle some feathers, I'm sure, with somebody I follow, but the one downfall to this is if you're not like smoochy with one of the guys that kind of run stuff, then you get neglected a little bit. So, which is lame, but I mean, you know what? That's how most of the world works. So, we all know who the greats are, and Robert, you don't need a freaking award to tell you that you're fucking fantastic. So,
yeah, like I'm okay with just doing my own thing. Like,
yeah. I gotta be honest. Honesty time here with Carlito. The one reason why I haven't done content on YouTube on my own is because I have some friends that do it a lot, and they get flagged for the stupidest shit. So, not to mention the censorship of certain words you can or can't say. And we're talking recorded content. I don't know how much they do to live content.
So already if I was tagged for being able to get money, we would have lost it. We would have been demonetized in the first minute. If you say fuck within the first
minute, try to cut that down. Like,
if you curse within the first minute, it's gone.
Okay. You know what? I will make an effort not to do that on your show because it's your channel, and I don't want to like deprive you.
No, once we ever get to 1K, that's a whole other story. But we're not there. Okay. And also they started demonetizing Jen and Mars for bullshit.
Yeah, see, and they don't give you like a specific answer or reason why, so you don't know. At least this is what I hear. You don't know what to stop or what to not do. And so then you just kind of guess. And then if you do it again, but you don't know, then you'll get another strike. Right. It's just, you know what? I honestly, full disclosure, I don't believe in this censorship bullshit on fan content, even using copyrighted music in videos or whatever. Because you know what? I could stroll down the street in my car and play copyrighted music as loud as I fucking want for the whole neighborhood to hear, and nobody gives a fuck. So, yeah, nobody's really on that content stuff for music in the background. Now, where I think you can get in trouble, like if you make a lot of money off your videos, sure, you should have to pay.
Mentioning COVID was big time bad.
Yeah, I mean, you should have to pay a licensing fee or whatnot for that content, that music in your background. But if you're just if you don't get monetized anyway, like who gives a fuck if you're playing music?
It's when you eventually get monetized. They want to make sure you don't get money.
Right. And you know what? I'd be totally cool with that. I would be like, you know what? If I make any money off videos I make, give it to the fucking artist. I don't care. But I want to be able to use music in my videos that I've paid for. Like that should be anybody's right. Maybe I'm old school, but that's just how I believe. But
so Robert, this is where I gotta go to who probably put us in touch with each other, and that was Rod the Rican. Just the Rican in his comics, because he made it his channel to kind of support other channels that were upcoming. And that's how I think I found about you. And that's how you found out about me.
Dude, that's how I got like 100 and whatever followers that I don't deserve on YouTube, because I don't even make content. I went live once this past like 6 months or something. And I actually had a few people that joined, and that was cool. And we had a good time, but yeah, exactly. I mean, that's pretty much, well, actually, I don't know if comics was the first. I think movies was actually the first thing I got on here for, but comics was second for sure.
So I've made no secrets. My deceased mother was huge on movies and comics, and she fostered my love of all of it, probably too much to the point where it became an obsession. But after she died, I started this channel, and this was kind of my homage to her and to help me with my grief. And so I feel every episode I do talking about these things, even though her favorite character is Wonder Woman, I've never talked about Wonder Woman.
Really?
No, I haven't done Wonder Woman comics or anything like that. So
we did discuss the DC movies, though, didn't we?
We didn't.
Really?
We talked about Suicide Squad. That was it.
Huh.
And Batman. So probably around her birthday time, I'm gonna have to do something doing something she loved, because weirdly her birthday is September 11th.
Yeah, man. I don't have to be on the show, but I'll definitely be in the chat. You do that for sure.
So it's one of those things, like my mom like was obsessive. Like we watched fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre during dinner. My mom was a huge horror fan. Like it's so dumb. But these little moments probably grew my fandom. Like we watched Jaws. She took me to see Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I had to hear her bitch about the original Dune for a half hour after the fact.
I wish you had that on tape. I wish you had that on tape.
She lit into my real dad, where she's like, I can't believe you fucking took me to see that fucking movie. She hated it with a passion because she had read the book.
Oh, man.
They were both Dune fans, which weirdly, like, somehow later on in my life, I grew into being a Dune fan, not intentionally. And everything that I am now, I mean, maybe not my bipolar neurosis is due to my mom, but all of my loves are due to her. 100%. Like,
oh, Robert, man, that sucks, dude. I hate that. That's oh man.
So I used to do movie reviews, and I did Return of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah, you got like, did you get videos taken down and shit?
I didn't get them taken down, but I got them flagged because some band that wasn't even around in 1986 claimed the fucking music in the movie.
Unreal. See, so here's the deal. Like so maybe my thinking is wrong legally, obviously, but like artistically speaking, you would think that the band would want you to have videos with their music in it as free promotion, because someone will watch or hear or discover like, oh my god, what's that song? You know, and
You
then,
think
like,
that with trailer reactions too?
shit, you know, like I don't know.
Legendary went after my ass for those Dune trailers.
That's crazy, dude. Like
they copyright claimed every one of them. Universal for Halloween went after me.
Yeah, apparently Disney's really bad at it too. So, but I mean, then I see channels that have exorbitant amount of clips and or music, but they have like, you know, hundreds of thousands or a million followers. And
so I get with the movie clips, trailer reactions though. I feel like you gotta loosen that shit up.
Yeah, man, trailers are free and out there. Like, why? I don't see how you could not do the trailers, but
it bothers the shit out of me. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't make money off this shit. Yes,
well, okay,
I don't give enough credit to Rod.
Oh,
Rod invited me on to be part of Tag Team Thursdays. Eventually, I couldn't do it anymore, but I was with an awesome group of people. No Good Comics, Rod, Just a Rican in his comics, and Comics Kings. And I eventually had to leave it. But Rod has always been a super supportive dude.
Okay.
Please go ahead and follow him. He's a Phillies fan, and it hurts me to even support him since I'm a Mets fan. But Rod's always been my dude.
At least you're still for the National League, though. I don't like.
He was the first person who actually like recognized my channel. He found me somehow of just like putting out random content.
I gotta say, Robert, now that you bring that up, that live that I did when I was just out on my balcony smoking a cigar, that was oddly enough, there was like maybe, I don't know, 8 people, 9 at max at one point. That was fun, man. Like, I enjoyed every minute. I didn't think anybody would be joining, so I was like, whatever, I'll just start filming. But it was fun. I loved it, hanging out with everybody and enjoying it.
So it's funny, Robert, because Jen and I talk about how her and I teamed up right as COVID, the lockdown was happening. And we both say that's how we kept our sanity during those weeks and months, is doing that show together and just randomly doing stuff and hanging out and getting to interact with other people.
Dude, watching you guys helped keep my sanity during all that shit.
And like my favorite episode was I got Jen so fucked up that she spit her tea out back into her cup because I told her my version of the crow that I would do that had no victim.
Oh, damn.
It was Robert Carradine, David Carradine, but it was the crow coming back as him against the rope maker that he autoerotic asphyxiated himself with. She spit that tea right out the fuck back in her cup.
Rightfully so.
I don't have many things that I'm proud of, but that is one of them.
I didn't realize I was so dark on screen. I wasn't really paying attention to myself. Sorry, guys. Not that you really care too much, but it's all good.
Oh. It's been bad tonight.
Because it's the same one. I thought you fucking blocked him or whatever.
I did. I blocked it every time. I might have to give Robert a break.
Well, they changing their their handle a little bit. It looks like. So that's
like the .com goes a little bit
a little
further.
Yeah.
It's been real bad tonight because the last 2 episodes we haven't had any. Or maybe it's because we haven't been talking about anything popular.
Maybe.
Because our Goodfellas show became about every other mob show, but...
Dude, that was a fun show, though. Speaking of fun and great news, Robert Pattinson's Batman will die after Matt Reeves' trilogy, and I'm so happy to hear that. Not literally, but like DC's only going to do his trilogy, and then it's going to wipe it kind of away.
I mean, Ezra Miller's done enough damage to the DC universe to last a long time.
Did you hear that test screening for that was the highest DC movie ever made so far?
Okay, so my thought is
Michael Keaton, though. Apparently he's in like half the movie, so that's great. And then they do a digital Christopher Reeve as well as Superman.
Well, my thing is also that you have Keaton in there.
Yeah.
People love Keaton as Batman. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about those Batmans. Like, they love Keaton.
Love him, dude. I love him. I don't know if I'd say he's the best because I really
will say him as Vulture. He had one of the scariest fucking scenes in cinema I've seen in a long time.
Dude, with Peter in the back. Holy shit. That was intense, man.
100% in a superhero movie. That was probably one of my favorite moments of like, hey, enjoy the dance.
Yeah.
It was so mob-like.
Fuck, that was great.
How has Michael Keaton never been in a mob movie?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I feel like he'd be great as a crime boss.
Maybe just because he's not fat enough. I don't know.
I mean, he could be like Christian Bale, put on 20, 30 pounds, and then just take it right off.
Speaking of which, sort of sidetracked, but kind of on the same line. You know how we do here. Michael Gandolfini, James Gandolfini's son, looks like he's put on weight in his new movie. And holy shit, somebody online did a side-by-side frames of him and James from like their movies and this new movie for Michael and then Sopranos for James. And holy shit, if they're not like fucking like father like son, man. God.
Bobby, Johnny Dangerously is a favorite movie of mine, especially with my mother hung me on a hook once. It's a dumb movie, but it's awesomely bad.
I just always think of what's his face hanging in the meat truck in Goodfellas.
Yes.
Oh God, so classic.
Which is funny because a lot of people talk to me about Goodfellas after the fact. They watched our show. They're like, "You guys barely talked about Goodfellas." I was like, "But there's so much other mob stuff. Like, I mean, it inspired so much."
You know what though? Like, that's kind of a compliment to it because there's really, I mean, it's all pretty much good.
I'm not going to say it's a perfect movie, but
honestly, I was thinking earlier when you mentioned that is there such thing as a perfect movie? I can't think of one. I mean, maybe I'm just picky, but I can't think of a perfect. I can think of a close to perfect.
For me, Godfather 2 is pretty fucking close.
Yeah, that is pretty close. I thought,
especially if you want to go acting performances, because even fucking Fredo in that movie.
So I'm gonna have to watch my new 4K release that you talked me into.
I'm ordering the Steelbooks.
I'm done. I'm not. This is it. I had the VHS.
I didn't buy the box set. I
had the VHS, the DVDs, the box set Blu-rays. Actually, I had the individual Blu-rays, then the box set. I'm done after this. 4K Blu-rays done.
Yeah, like, I'm buying the Steelbooks of the 4Ks because I had a bad feeling after the Indiana Jones shit that it was going to come out of Steelbooks. But $46 for the 4K for
that
wasn't bad.
No. Hey, I'd be interested to hear. Does Robert have any perfect movies? It looks like Bobby's got some. Bobby, what are they?
Oh, yeah, like hit us up.
Ooh, gore! I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that comment. and we'll just move it right along.
I'm in the high nines.
Just we'll move right along from that one. I know, Corey, just trying to push those buttons. All I'll say is stoicism has really been an enlightening.
I'm the same person who liked Batman Begins better than Dark Knight. So,
well, excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't. I thought I heard something, but
So Dark Knight never happens without Batman Begins.
Did you say the Batman was better than the Dark Knight?
No, Batman Begins.
Oh, okay. That I can give you that. That's fine.
But I think mainly what I like most is Michael Caine in that movie is such an asshole.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, only because he needs to be a little bit. It's not that bad. Yeah. No, Putin's got them all wound up. He's got all the bots going crazy over time.
I don't think I've ever watched Little Big Man.
Big Man. It's a Western.
Oh.
Huh. Actually, maybe I have. I wonder if that was on TV because I feel like maybe I've seen that. The original King Kong. Ooh, yeah, that's.
So the 1940s one, because that one with Jeff Bridges in the 70s was with Jessica Lange was fucking great.
I mean, they're all kind of, honestly, they're all kind of great. I wouldn't
Jessica Lange was insanely hot back then.
Jessica Lange, huh? Yeah.
Oh, in that movie in particular, she.
Yeah, I'll give you that in that movie for sure.
I know Gore will agree with me. The Excalibur movie, Helen Mirren,
and Helen Mirren. I mean, even now, she's a fox. Yeah,
Excalibur.
You know what? Bobby might be onto something there. That black and white King Kong. I think that was maybe one of the first movies I've ever seen.
Because I remember that and Mighty Joe Young. Every now and again in New York on WPIX, they would show those after the Abbott and Costello movies, and there would always be a Godzilla movie every Sunday.
Godzilla. You said it wrong. It's Godzilla.
Godzilla. Look, man in the rubber suit, never better. And then you put in the stupid Godzuki. And then Mecha Godzilla versus Mecha King Kong. It was just escalation of stupid, and I was there for every bit of it. But Abbott and Costello versus the Wolfman, still.
Oh yeah, that is a classic. Actually, that first Frankenstein too is pretty good.
Yes, Abbott and Costello versus any of the Universal monsters was always great.
No, thank you, Robert, for showing up, man. It's been great. You know what? I might actually be up late enough for his show tonight.
Everybody, go make sure you sub up and go check out Robert. It's probably at 1 a.m., but please go check him out. If I am up, I will make sure that I am in that chat.
Oh, yeah.
Love you, Robert. Thank you for stopping by. You're awesome. And again, please go sub him up and go check him out. And go check him out on Instagram also. G-Man out.
Robert's one of the best, man.
And again, he's one of the people he will casually call you out on your bullshit if you maybe not think you were in the wrong, but you were in the wrong. It took me a bit, but yeah, he was right.
I almost ordered the. Oh, never mind. We need to get back to Prey before we.
I feel like we're done with Prey, but I want to get to Predator rankings.
Oh yeah. I wanted to do that too. But can we do a score on Prey first? Or
I thought we did.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah,
we did. God,
it was the drunk one here.
Long ago. Obviously, I need to drink more. I'm not. Yeah. So there we go. I've been done with my drink for quite some time now, so maybe I'm losing my edge. Need to get my edge back. But yeah, James E. Pepper, 1776 bourbon. I mean, Prey was 1719, so that's close enough, right?
I mean, one's during Independence, the other one's during, not Independence.
Well, yeah, I guess before we killed all of them and stole their land. But yeah, so Predator rankings. Are we going to include all of the Predator movies? Please say yes, please.
Are you wanting to know if we're doing Alien versus Predator?
And Alien versus Predator Requiem. Yes. I think we all know which one's the worst out of all the Predator movies. I mean, hands down, should be anyway.
I mean, I think we've been pretty clear so far.
Yeah. Please don't.
Yeah, we'll include the Alien versus Predator. So, my number one, it's the original Predator.
Duh.
We're not. Number two, though, I'm gonna go with Prey.
Hard disagree on that one, but I want to hear why.
So for me, I felt this was a more complete movie. It gave you a little bit of everything. I know that sounds vague, but
yeah, we need specifics here, Dan. Come on.
Huh? So it gave you a hero that was not unlikely, but it had the hero's journey. 2, it wasn't easy for her. 3, it was minimalist, which built kind of tension.
Ooh, yeah,
and as the original Halloween fan, the best thing about Halloween is you barely ever saw Michael Myers in it, much like Jaws.
Yeah, the shape.
You saw vague images of them in the foreground, background, but you never saw the full version of them. So it was hunter-prey stuff, and I think that fit the theme of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I love when people can do a lot with minimal budget.
How much was the budget on this one? Did you say at the beginning?
I did not. They did not give a full budget.
Really?
But the fact they were expecting it only to make $24 million in theaters,
it must have been pretty small.
Kinda lets you know. My number 3 would be Predators. Kind of tries to get the vibe of the original. Kind of fails, but there's some interesting characters in it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
And then, God, I guess it was the Alien. Predator 2. I guess. Yikes! And I'm gonna give that because of Bill Paxton.
Oh man, his character was great.
Yeah, and then AVP 2, even though it was so dark, I couldn't fucking see it on my TV.
Oh my God, that movie was so dark.
And then AVP 1, and then The Predator.
You're putting AVP 1 down by The Predator? Oof.
Oh my God, Helen Mirren. Oof. That was a dime back in the day.
Okay, I mean, I'll just stop talking. But yeah. So that's did you rank all of them then? Yeah, you got them all.
Yeah. The Predator was my last.
So we're not too far off, sort of. There's a couple that are extremely flipped. So for me, it's Predator, obviously. Then Predator 2. I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing for me, but I have a really, really strong connection to that movie. And rewatching it right after Prey, it actually fit perfectly too. I think maybe it's Danny Glover. I don't know. But if I'm not mistaken, that one was done by John McTiernan, or was it the first one?
The first one was definitely McTiernan.
And the second one was Stephen Hopkins, maybe. Might have been. Anyway, I really like Gary Busey in the second one as well. He plays kind of a
the same character from Point Break.
Somewhat normal, yeah, sorta, but yeah. It gives you. But so Predator, Predator 2, and then Prey. And actually, I have a fondness for AVP because I love the comics, and also because I'm fascinated with the whole Egyptian culture, the pyramids, hieroglyphics, all that stuff. So that part really got me. The only thing that really drags me on that film is PG-13. And I remember when they announced it, I was like, it's going to be PG-13. This is going to suck. And there's too many cutaways from, like, you know, when people get killed and whatnot, which, I mean, I'm not an advocate for gratuitous violence, but at the same time, it's like not showing a lot of that. It felt like something was a little missing. But yeah, I mean, Bobby, that's a good list too. So definitely goes through. So Predator, Predator 2, Prey, and then after that, oh god, it's such.
I mean, if you got to choose the comics in that, that's a whole other story in there because the comics were way better.
I mean, I love the comics, but and I actually when Batman versus the Predator came out in the 90s,
that was good.
Dark Horse, I think it was. It
was Dark Horse in DC.
I got the hardback copies. Oh my god, it's so fucking awesome. But anyway, I need to get. You know what? I should probably get those encapsulated or graded or whatever slab. But so Predator, Predator 2, Prey. Oh man, after that, AVP. Good God, AVP 2 is just so bad, but also. There were some fight scenes with the alien that were kind of cool.
AVP 2 was just the right kind of fucking weird.
One was the right kind of like cheesy written, horrible dialogue, but like at the same time, it was like kind of fun to watch, sort of.
Yeah, like it was just like we're gonna fucking knock up all these women with these.
So I guess okay, AVP 2. Obviously, the Predator is the last one.
Yeah, the fucking Predator was
that's horrible. I can't even remember anything about it except for the guy from Logan was in it.
Well, Keegan-Michael Key is in it, and he's just
oh god, I forgot about that.
One-liners.
But I was so hyped because I was like, "Ooh, this might be good with him in it." But then when I heard that Arnold denied doing it and coming back because he thought the script was shit, then I was like, "Okay."
As soon as I found out Olivia Munn was a scientist, I was like, I'm out.
When what?
Olivia Munn was
Jesus.
a scientist. And then Jacob Tremblay, I was like, why? We
all know why Olivia Munn was in there. It's not because she could play a scientist.
It's because of Aaron Rodgers.
But, well, I mean, you know, she's pretty hot, but.
Yeah. She's a horrible human being in person, though.
Hey, cheers, Robert.
Yeah, I met her in person at Comic-Con. She was not nice.
But that said, I do own AVP and AVP 2, but I will never own the Predator. So
no.
Thanks, Shane Black, for tarnishing one of my favorite sci-fi monsters.
I know you.
Dude, yeah, Alien. I need to go back and watch all the Alien movies for sure.
I go through weird things with Alien because so I finally watched the assembly cut of the Fincher Alien 3.
Mm.
And it's the superior cut, but I don't know if it makes it a better movie. Ooh. Compared to the others.
Okay.
So I don't know if it affects my ranking because it's still a flawed movie, but it's better than the actual release.
That reminds me. Did you see Colin Trevorrow's tweet about Jurassic World Dominion?
No.
Friends don't let friends watch the theatrical cut.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go again.
And I got my movie Thursday. I didn't watch it till last night, but it's the extended edition. So I watched the extended cut. I got to say, even though it's only like 4 minutes difference, I think, and it's all in the beginning, it does have an impact on how you feel about the film for sure. But I already liked it, so I don't know if it would make someone who didn't like it. But I will say it's better, smoother. The pacing's better with the first 4 minutes that he had on there. And actually, it addresses a lot of complaints that people were talking about, like not seeing dinosaurs in the real world or whatever. But
I'll never forget the day that the Fantastic Four movie came out, when the director / writer came out and wrote, "Hey, that's not the movie you're watching in the theater is not my cut. Mine would have been better. I only directed half of the movie before I was fired." And I just remember going,
the latest one or the one before that?
The last one that came out with Michael B. Jordan in it.
Okay.
And I just remember him putting that. I was like, you literally put this shit out 12 hours before release day. You're actively working against them at this point and trying to fuck up this movie.
Well, I think Colin Trevorrow only did that tweet because, well, I think he believes it, but also because, game over, man, game over.
Listen,
dude,
Bill Paxton was just,
he's classic.
Like the whole thing with Vasquez, even, hey, Vasquez, anybody ever mistake you for a man? No, anybody ever mistake you? Like, and then him going, this girl's been here for 24 hours by herself. Why'd you put her in charge, man?
Oh, man.
Bill Paxton was just a legend.
R.I.P., dude. I see his family just settled their lawsuit against the hospital, so.
He was just a great character actor. And Weird Science is Chet.
Oh, God, he was in that?
Yes. He was the older brother that they turned to a pig creature.
Fuck, I gotta go back and watch that. It's been probably decades since I've seen it.
Edge of Tomorrow, he was great. And Near Dark was probably his best over-the-top performance. And from what everybody tells me, Twister, he was great in.
Twister, man, he was so good in that.
I never watched it still.
Really?
I've never watched it.
It's worth the watch at least once.
I think I've just missed it every time it was on TV, and then I just never actively looked for it.
I know my dad, every time it was on TV, he would just watch it.
But I will go to my grave. Frailty.
Oh my God.
Is the best performance.
I was just thinking.
Matthew McConaughey and him.
During all this talk, I was just thinking I need to go back and rewatch that. Actually, that might be on my Halloween list.
Yeah, that would be a good Halloween movie.
So good. So like the ending, and I remember still the feelings I had from the ending. I'm just like
the ending, but just Bill Paxton, especially for his initial directorial debut.
Yeah.
Fucking strong.
I gotta say, it's similar to Fallen a little bit too.
Bobby, thank you for bringing it up. Like, we are huge fans of Frailty.
Dude, hell yeah.
And it's one of those movies, I didn't know about it until I watched one of those Bravo best horror movie lists that they had on the channel. I didn't
know about it until Perry or maybe John Schnepp, I think.
Probably one of those two.
But like, I think anyway, or maybe I watched it with my brother. I can't remember.
And it's one of those movies that's never on TV.
No. It's probably too controversial to put on TV. Well, not now, but back then it was probably too controversial to put on. Frailty, you know, a case could be made for. You know what we ought to do is like a show where we pick movies that we think are perfect, and then we have to like.
No, because you'll have fucking. You know who you'll have on?
Ryan? What?
Ryan, and he'll shit all over it.
That's kind of what I was thinking. It'd make it more fun, but
movies with Ryan.
Robert
See how
and Bob.
Ryan can shit on it.
Sweet. And Gore.
So Frailty is on Cinemax right now and HBO Max.
Dude, I own the Blu-ray. I don't need none of that shit.
No, I'm just saying for any randoms on here.
I was just physical media posing. That's all.
So if you get a chance to watch it and let us know what you think of it, because it's a surprising movie. And this is like Matthew McConaughey before he was in True Detective. So people were still hating McConaughey. There was not the McConaissance.
Nope, not yet.
And it was before Interstellar, which I still don't dig.
God, this is the greatest movie. I'm long overdue for a rewatch on that. I won't say it's perfect, even though it's my favorite movie of all time.
I haven't watched it since it first came out.
Really? So I think I saw that in IMAX 4 or 5 times. And then I saw it in the regular theater twice. And then I've watched the Blu-ray or the 4K, I guess now, at least every year for the last, 6, 8 years it's been out. So
we're glad you're easily entertained, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby, I mean.
But Frailty is one of those movies I would say, like, if you have the patience for it, because you literally have to hang in there for the entire movie.
That's definitely
pay attention to what's going on.
I don't think a lot of younger people would really care for it much. It'd be too boring.
I mean, Memento was one of those movies that if you didn't stay with it, especially to the end, you weren't going to get what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, there's no payoff. You don't stick with it.
Before we end, there was a little talk about Blockbuster the other day and how they used to carry, 5,000 movies?
Oh,
roughly?
Did I send you that?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I thought that was so interesting. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even realize that.
So I found so many dumb movies because I was bored and wanting something new to watch. And I'd walk.
And then you probably, if you're like me, at least a couple hours in the video store just walking around.
I'd walk the shelves and then I'd talk to the people.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'd be like, hey, like, I'd be like, I would just be like, hey, what's good? And I remember Boondock Saints was one of the people there was like, oh, like, I don't know, people are watching this movie. I don't know why. So I watched it. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, and then I watched the documentary about the making of Boondock Saints. Like, this guy's a fucking raging asshole.
Dude, I met some good friends growing up at our local video store. It was called The Video Source. And that was the first place where I ever got like my first movie posters. And yeah, dude, like I loved it. And later, even at Hollywood Video and like the other stores, going in, looking at all the movies, or Hollywood Video or Family Video, and going in, look at all the movies, and then like going to grab one, and then you're like walking by and someone's like, hey, have you seen this? Is this any good? And you just start talking to them. Dude, I miss that shit so much. The very minimal social interaction I used to get in my nerddom back in the day.
The Joaquin Phoenix, you were never there, never really here.
Ooh, I need to watch.
That was one of those great, like, fucking around where he was playing the media with his rap career. You remember that he was on David Letterman and he had like a weird appearance on there.
I am glad Gore brought that up because honestly, regardless of whether or not you liked it or how you felt about it, I think The Joker is probably close to perfect a film as you can get for me.
The Joker was a movie. I remember Gambit and I went and saw it together, and I left it saying, I don't feel good about this.
Yeah, I know a lot of people said that. I think this is just
so to be flat out honest, I suffer from mental illness. I have bipolar. And walking out of there, I was like, I don't know how to feel about this because I don't know if they're making a joke about the mental health state or the lack of care about it. But I left it going, I don't know how I feel. But Joaquin Phoenix was fantastic in that role of just unhinged. And
Dude,
it reminded me a little bit of Taxi Driver and a little bit of Falling Down.
a little bit. Yeah.
Falling Down, underrated Michael Douglas role.
Yeah, he's kind of a mess. But yeah, no, dude, those are legit feelings. And I've talked to other people that have either work in that field or have like similar stuff going on. It's like, yeah, dude, I get it. That's legit. But at the same time, I walked away thinking like it's shedding a light on how society doesn't treat especially men with mental illness with respect, dignity of any kind, and just kind of like outcast them. And that's how I think about it. But that doesn't justify what he does. Nothing justifies what he does.
No.
Here we're not.
It's a descent further into madness.
Right? I'm not saying, and I know some people, mostly ill-informed, or people that are just kind of surface topic talkers, but they would take that road and be like, "Oh, it didn't justify what." No, nothing justifies what he does. I'm not saying that, but it's up until that point, and even a little after, it just shows you. It sheds light on society and our problems, and I think that's why a lot of people, not you, because your reasons are totally valid and different from other people, but like other people, they're like, "Oh, I didn't like it." It's because it made them kind of face reality, and people don't want to see that, especially in like a movie where it's supposed to be entertaining and you're supposed to like escape. People don't like that, and I think that's so. There's three dynamics with that movie,
and then Robert De Niro playing the talk show host.
Yeah,
and it was a weird thing because of seeing
that soundtrack. Okay. Oh my god,
gonna get really weird into my life. So after I had a falling out with the girl I was dating, she went around telling people I was crazy, and then like went and accused me of sexual harassment after the fact. And the funny thing is, someone told me that even though I was being harassed, had I been a woman, they would have taken it more seriously. But since I was a man, they weren't taking it seriously. And it was a very weird thing to go through, especially with my mental state at the time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's the state of the world, I guess. It's there are no rights or wrongs. There's just gray areas everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's not black and white for sure.
I haven't watched this movie since it came out because, again, I bought it, but when I left the theater, I don't know if I want to watch this again. I've had a couple of movies like that where I've just been like, it's too much for me. I don't know if I want to watch this.
I thought that's how I was going to be with it because I went and saw it once in IMAX. I was like, holy shit, that was great, but I'm not sure I want to watch it again. Like, it was just pretty intense. And then a friend wanted to go that hadn't seen it, and then she wanted me to go with her. So I was like, okay, I'll go. And then the second watch, I actually caught a lot of stuff and loved it like almost twice as much as the first time. And I think because the first time it's so intense and so visceral that it's all encompassing and you don't really get to focus on a lot of little things. But the second time, like everything that's going to happen. So you're kind of just more focused on the details, and holy shit. Yeah. And then I watched it once when I got the 4K, but that was like a year ago or more. So I think I'm about due for another watch, but
yeah, I got the 4K off the bat, and
it is a tough, I'll give you that. It's not something.
You have to be in the mindset, I guess.
You have to be in a mindset to sit down and be like, all right, I want to watch this again because it kind of takes a lot out of you a little bit. But
And then you see now that they have Lady Gaga, which if you watched House of Gucci,
yeah, I didn't see. But I'm not. I gotta be honest.
She was good in it.
I was wrong about The Dark Knight because Heath Ledger, the guy from Brokeback, is Joker. I know I've said that a lot of times, but like, okay, whatever. I'm Joker is a musical. I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. But also partly because musicals are my least favorite movie genre. So I don't know. I know John and I think a couple other people are pretty excited, but
so I'm interested to see how they do it because it could be done one of two ways where there is a musical part to it.
Right.
Because what did people love from the first one? Him dancing on the steps.
Right. And then also in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Which I get it. And if it's done like that, I might be down with it. But if it's like a traditional musical, I just cringe. I cringe at that stuff, man. I just can't.
But maybe that's the point of it. They're going to take the piss out of it, where it's going to be a mocking of it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could be. I could see. Or
it could be like a Monty Python kind of like we're going to fuck with a musical.
But I know, like you just said, I think John told me, Bobby. I actually do have 3 musicals that I've watched more than once and 2 that I really, really like. But now actually I only have 1 because one of them's tainted by a actor that destroyed his career and is just a piece of shit.
Is it Rocky Horror?
No, it's Beyond the Sea. Kevin Spacey is Bobby D, which is unfortunate because Bobby D is one of my favorite of all time. But
so weirdly, my mom used to watch and listen to the Camelot musical with Richard Harris.
Oh yeah, you've told me this before, yeah.
And she used to watch that fucking constantly. For fuck's sake. Between that, Rocky Horror, and then Pink Floyd's The Wall was another, which you can call a musical. It's maybe not really. I also like the Beatles one that had Across the Universe.
I don't think I've seen that. Yeah. No,
it was fairly decent. There is a musical horror zombie movie that's British that I really liked.
Oh my god! Of course.
Oh god, it's a Christmas movie, no less.
What?
Yes.
I don't get it. I'm gonna answer Bobby's question though. So
yeah,
for me, it's La La Land. I'm a hopeless romantic at heart, and I like that the ending is not a quote unquote happy ending. It's more of a realistic ending, which I know some people didn't like, but just the whole thing. Because actually, I think this also came out at a time when I was considering moving out there and living with a friend who does like makeup on movies and shit, and then I didn't, obviously, but yeah, so yeah, it hit on a lot of levels. The opening, it was a little, I don't know for me, but after that though, the rest of it I loved. So
okay, it's called Anna and the Apocalypse. It's on Pluto TV for free.
It's on what?
Pluto TV. It's a free app.
I got Pluto on Samsung, so yeah.
Yeah, and it's on Tubi. It is a Christmas British musical that happens during Christmas about a zombie infestation. And it's very clever.
Yeah, West Side Story, I mean, obviously is a classic.
The newest West Side Story was not bad.
I don't think
it wasn't. In the Heights also was not bad.
Oh, wait, maybe it was In the Heights I was thinking of.
The Steven Spielberg did West Side Story.
The new one?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. Either one, actually, I'm not sure.
I thought both were okay. I would also say Repo the Genetic Opera is one of the weirdest musicals. It has Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The girl from Spy Kids is in it. The lead singer of Skinny Puppy, the industrial band from the 80s and 90s. I watched a lot of weird shit. I'm not gonna apologize for it. And
No.
the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, Once More with Feeling.
Dude, that's why I love you, man. You introduced me to gore. Or no, what was the Psycho Gore Man and a whole bunch of. I fucking loved it. It was like a dark Power Rangers. You're
Yes.
absolutely right, dude. I
Also,
tried to get Bert to watch that. I don't think he's gonna do it.
The recently deceased Paul Sorvino is in it as well, Repo the Genetic Opera, and it's on Pluto TV currently.
R.I.P. Paulie.
Yes. I'm gonna turn my back now, and you're gonna be gone, and that money will be gone as well.
Paulie may have moved slow, but that's because Paulie didn't have to move for anybody.
Yep.
Well, Paulie.
Salute to Paulie. Paul Sorvino had a hell of a career.
Oh yeah.
And his daughter Mira Sorvino, she was in the Replacement Killers.
Which actually, I owned that VHS back in the day.
So yeah.
I don't know why I kind of loved that movie. I think it might have
Chow
been
Yun Fat, man, like.
And then Chow Yun, yeah, but I think I really liked her too. And
she was decent in it. She wasn't bad. Like
piece of shit in her career. So
there was that weird moment in time where like Asian cinema started to bleed over just a little bit.
Yeah.
Tony Jaa's Protector series came over.
Dude, I like Romeo Must Die.
Yes. I own that. I'm fucking entertained by it because it's stupid.
It's stupid, but it's like fun, stupid. And Aaliyah, R.I.P., Jet Li.
From the Cradle to the Grave.
Lindo, DMX soundtrack.
Yeah.
DMX is in it too, I think, briefly. And yeah, like Skinny Puppy. Oh, bookstore. Man, I miss going into those and trying to pick up chicks.
I forgot about Mimic. Yeah, Mimic, Beautiful Girls.
Beautiful Girls. I like that one too. That was good.
So I bought the 4K recently of it had the Air soundtrack. Jesus Christ. Why am I blanking now of all times?
Gore, I'm still trying to get that Monica Bellucci European film Melina on Blu-ray. I think it's only available on DVD. I did see some Blu-rays available from Korea, but I'm a little sketch on that. So
The Virgin Suicides. I just watched that after the longest time. One of Sofia Coppola's first movies.
I don't think I've seen that in Jesus. I don't know how long. I need to get is it Lost in Translation?
I haven't watched that since it came out.
Isn't that the one with Bill Murray and
yes, and Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah. Maybe I have a thing for Scarlett. I don't know because I really loved her, and
so
I mean, I don't know.
Virgin Suicides had a great soundtrack by Air. It also had Supergrass on there, and then it was the main actress who was in Spider-Man, first one. Shit.
I got to get Melina though before that disappears off physical media.
Oh God, who the fuck was? Oh God, who is Mary Jane in the first Spider-Man?
Kristen Dunst.
Yes, she was in it, and Kristen Dunst, Josh Hartnett, James Woods, Kathleen Turner, Michael Pire, Scott Glenn, Danny DeVito.
Jeez.
AJ Cook, Hannah Hall, Leslie Heyman, Chelsea Swain.
Oh,
and it was about these sisters that were so repressed that they ended up killing themselves because they were so repressed. Hayden Christensen's in this. It was a really good young cast at the time. I think this was 1999.
Like a female's Dead Poets Society a little bit. I don't think I've ever seen Virgin Suicides.
Scott Glenn is in it. Robert Schwartzman, Jason Schwartzman's brother's in it. Which Jason Schwartzman, if you've seen a movie, you've seen Jason Schwartzman, especially if it's like Rushmore, which is one of my favorite fucking movies. The Air soundtrack to Virgin Suicides was amazing. It's one of the first movies where I think the soundtrack was actually better than the movie because it was just such an atmospheric. I would almost say the Kevin Spacey, Mia Suvari movie, American. Shit.
Oh, American Pie.
No.
Or not American Beauty.
American Beauty, where that one also like had that crazy trailer where I think it was Bob O'Reilly playing during it by The Who.
Bob O'Reilly, that was the theme song to CSI New York forever.
I thought it was for those about. No, not for those about.
No, that was the Miami. You're thinking.
Okay.
I was thinking you. I never watched CSI Miami.
But American Beauty is another one of those movies where if you can make it the whole way through the movie and see the descent into like Kevin Spacey's madness.
So that was a movie that I did not like, that everyone else liked, and now because of Kevin Spacey, I really have no reason to rewatch it. So
I remember Annette Bening being fucking insane in it.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. And then also the Marine Corps neighbor.
Yeah. There's also a movie I kind of want to go back and watch that I haven't watched in a while.
The Negotiator.
Oh, God.
Samuel Jackson and Kevin Spacey. It's great. I love it.
I fairly want to go back and watch Dick Tracy.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long time, and I wonder how that held up for me. Scott Bakula was in this movie.
I watched that.
John Cho. Chris Cooper. Anyway, we're getting close to 2.5 hours, so
we'll go to 2:30, man.
Yeah, I'm actually supposed to be on PSN in 6 minutes.
Oh shit! Okay, I didn't know that. My bad.
I'm supposed to be playing. I didn't know we were getting that late. We don't get fooled again. Yes. Yeah. And then you got David Caruso lowering the glasses, and every time it's always like, yeah. I want to thank everybody for contributing and being with us tonight. It's been a very random episode. I'm gonna be offline for a couple of weeks because I've got some things I got to take care of, so probably won't be back till later in the month of September. October is going to be a very active month, so don't worry about that. We're going to be here for all your horror wants and needs. I probably will be kind of dead on Instagram for a couple of weeks too, so it's not that I'm actually dead. I'm just not going to be able to be around. But I appreciate and thank everyone, and please go follow everyone who we talked about. John's Comics especially is a great friend of the show, and Bearded Comic Bro, even though I don't agree with a lot of the shit he says.
Dude, I just agree with 90% of what he says, so it's all good.
And especially Fire Guy Ryan. I agree with about 20%. But they're all great people.
It might be 40-60 actually.
And then Jen is one of my most favorite people in the world, even though, again, her and I don't see eye to eye a lot of the time. I love her like the sister that I wish I had and not the one I ended up with.
Robert.
Yes, and of course, Robert, we talked about. And again, Rod the Rican, Just a Rican in his comics. Please go follow him. I know you came from Burke. Basically, I knew you mostly from Burke.
Yeah. He was one of my first friends ever. I think, through IG, because we both were watching Comic Tom back when he had like barely any followers.
Yeah.
He was doing his live streams, and
Actual Dracula is a great friend of ours, of course. Manny.
Chamorro. Well,
Chamorro,
he's not. What is he now? He's something else.
I think he's back to Chamorro show again.
Okay.
Yeah, he keeps going back and forth. It's either Manny's different.
Dude, I'm gonna send him a message. Pick a name.
But you can find him under Chamorro. He's still under there as that, or just look up Manny and you'll find him.
Bobby. Sometimes I agree with that sentiment a lot. That's a great statement.
Fire Guy Ryan loves being contrarian. He will get pissed about it, but he 100%. John called it out before we started the Batman the Animated Series movie. He was like, "I bet you Ryan's going to come in here and shit on this."
Yep, of course he did.
Or be indifferent, and he sure was. Also, Actual Dracula, Panda Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Moonlit Comics, Morbius Comics,
Gambit.
Gambit. He's barely on YouTube, but follow his Instagram, especially if you're into tattoo work. He just had a comic book release. He did the second story on a Kickstarter, Cthulhu versus Wonderland. And Moonlit Comics, my other co-host is Pretty Nerdy, not to be confused with Nerdy Girl Comics. That's a whole feud there, so please don't get them confused.
She was part of Acetate Gate, wasn't she?
Oh God, yeah, not Pretty Nerdy, Nerdy Girl.
No, not Pretty Nerdy, but Nerdy Girl.
Pretty Nerdy was not part of any of that, so please don't DM her or any of that, because I don't need to hear that shit from her. Like, why did you say I was part of Acetate Gate? I love her dearly, and oh God, let's see, Bearded. I go through weird things of like, wait, who am I missing? Tessa, yes. Tessa's a nerd. She's now doing a weekly show, so please go check her out. She's got an all-lady panel.
I say this every time we do a show, but I really wish Gore was on like Instagram or something else, because obviously he doesn't do content on YouTube.
No.
He did.
Just a place to at him at.
Yeah, just a place where I could, send a message and talk about it. Even an email. Or send me your email. I mean, mine's pretty blatant, the same as.
If Actual Dracula watches this, though, if you're doing a Halloween episode again, like last year, where my boy had COVID, where we did Bram Stoker's Dracula, Shadow of the Vampire, or Salem's Lot this year. I'm putting that on you, bitch. Not that that really matters, but just putting it out there. Okay, everybody. I'm going to end on that note. But again, I love the hell out of you guys. I don't have a show to do. I'm actually just playing Sniper Elite with a friend from work. I feel bad.
PlayStation Network, is that what you're talking about?
PlayStation or on Xbox. I don't remember where he wanted to play on. I've got it on both systems, but yeah, I'm gonna do some nerdy gaming drunk. So it's probably not gonna be fun for this person.
Sweet.
Not streaming or anything. We're just playing with a coworker who asked me to play with him. That
would be amazing.
No. So years ago, I got super drunk and decided to enter a raid on Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up just trolling everybody and ended up getting kicked out.
Dude, that would have probably been one of your best, watch streams.
No. Like, people were very angry. They were going for a perfect run.
Oh,
and as soon as it got to a jumping puzzle, I purposely started knocking people off the cliff.
I don't even know anything about it, but that sounds horrible.
It it got bad, and then it got worse because like we got to the last boss and I rocketed everybody to death because I was in full troll mode. I was not in a good place in my life. At
Look at
the
all
time.
Jenkins.
Anyway, thank you everybody. I gotta get going.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. Bye,
Later,
everybody.
guys.